Testing. Testing. All right. Yeah, Harden can have my toe too, because he was a great play. I completely agree with you. I was so excited to start him literally on my contest, but I'm actually excited to start a couple of these Rockets myself. I'm gonna go over the strategy in just a second. I actually haven't calculated any of these values for these Rockets yet, so you guys can do the research with me. So interactive experience. Also, let me know if the mic is too loud, because I've been testing the distance away from my face. Right here is where it should go. Also, another good play is Kyle Anderson with the news of Memphis, Crowder being ruled out. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join. And guys, I actually haven't calculated the Rockets yet, so I'm gonna do that while there's more people in here, so you guys can actually see what kind of process goes into this. If you guys were watching my video earlier, you obviously know that Harden was the play. Now he is out. Westbrook is out. I was actually kind of stunned to see Westbrook and Harden both out. You'd think, like, even though Westbrook doesn't play back-to-backs anymore, even though Harden was out, you'd think Westbrook would, like, step up and play. I mean, he obviously can. I don't know what the deal is with that. I guess knowing that they're going to make the playoffs, just management. I'm waiting for a few more guys to get in here, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Waiting for a few more people. Also, the live chat, like with the people, it shows 5 right now, but I know that's not accurate, because yesterday it was like bouncing between like 30 to 18. It was like, it wasn't updated at all. So just waiting for a few more people, guys. Also, I am sick. Literally, I think I'm starting to come down with the flu, of course, right when the work week starts up. So if my voice starts cracking, it's not my fault. I promise. I'm trying my best here. This is a flu slate for me. So ride with me, because this is gonna be great content. I'm Michael Jordan today. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. So Westbrook and Harden are out for the Rockets, first time this season. Okay, so what I did is, I'll just show you guys. I took Harden and Westbrook off the court, and the sample size is literally like nothing. 65 minutes is the most somebody's played without those two on the court. So just to make things easier, we're going to take the biggest usage hog off the court. We're going to run by those numbers, because those will provide the most obvious fantasy point productions. Obviously, Westbrook isn't playing, but if he was, look at that. So they're still in a pace-up game. The under was actually, it looks like the under's getting hit more in Vegas, so they moved down to 114. I'm actually going to update that just to see how bad it is. Oh yeah, this is flu season. This is a flu game for me, because I am getting the flu. Somebody went to our house for Christmas, and they just left like 2 days ago. Found out that they had the flu, so I actually might be getting the flu, which is horrible. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm going to have to battle this week. 110 is what they're down at now, which is actually still pretty good with all the value. I'm not scared away from Houston. Pelican players actually become better, just because it should be, it should be a very high scoring affair for the Pelicans as well. They are the highest over under on the slate, whereas the Rockets weren't, or they were, now they are not. So let's go ahead and start calculating these values. Let's see how good the Rockets actually are. Let's see how good these plays are. So Austin Rivers, come down here to my calculator. If you guys were on stream yesterday, you saw this thing. No Capella too. I know. The reason I'm not taking Capella off is because, again, the sample sizes are way too low. I want to get a good idea of what these guards are looking like as far as output without Harden. Not really Capella. I don't really care about Capella because he is a center. He obviously isn't as high of a usage monster as Harden. Harden's the best in the NBA for usage, him and Giannis. So let's go ahead. And look at House first. House is projected at 36. Did I read that right? 36. All right. Also, guys, be sure to update any injuries, any more injury news if there are any in the chat, so I can look over. Speaking of which, they'll start Rivers, Gordon, House, Tucker, Chandler on Sunday. All right. So House 0.66, not a good player. 27.7 or 23.76. Oh wow. So that's way off. So we're gonna keep him here. The reason for that is because it's still a pace-up game for these guys, and because he's gonna be so high owned, I don't wanna downplay his production. Okay, let's see what the sample size is too. That actually scared me here. Only 145 minutes. So keep in mind these sample sizes are a little bit low. I'm going to see if anybody pops in general. I'm going to manually input their values if they do. So like Gary Clark gets a nice little boost. I'll probably manually input his values. Hardenstein, I think it's how you pronounce his last name. Obviously gets a big increase, but he's only 50-minute sample size, so I probably won't touch it. Let's go look at PJ Tucker here. 0.73. Millsap is out. Okay, good to know. Thank you. I'll go ahead and look at them after this. You know, all these Rockets suck, but somebody has to do something tonight, right? So again, they are inflating his numbers just a little bit. And another thing, guys, you can't take these numbers exactly for what they are, because think about it. How many times has Westbrook, Harden, and Capella been off the court for the Rockets? Literally probably 0 times this entire season, just because they've all been playing so much. So I'm not going to take these numbers because you're just assuming Harden is off the court. If you take Westbrook, Harden off as well as Capella, obviously these numbers are going to go up for all these guys. So I'm going to trust the roto projections for a couple of these people, like Tucker and House, obviously. I'm going to take the 35.22. I'm going to take the higher fantasy point production because it probably is going to be higher than whatever his output was projected at 0.66. He's going to do better this game, especially with the over-under. So with the pace of the game. Macklemore, let's go ahead. 34 minutes. You got to have a little bit of intuition and experience to do this kind of thing. You can't just look up these players and then manually calculate everything and assume it's going to be right, because that's not going to be completely accurate at the end of the day. Macklemore, let's see, 0.8. Not bad. 27.2. What's he projected at? Yeah, so it looks like all these projections are actually going to be inflated. Brother knows best. Did I read that right? Rivers 0.79. All right, so these guys aren't going to change. So let's back up here. The injury news without Harden obviously makes all these Rockets a great play. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this, guys. An entire stack of this team would be a viable option with paying up for people like LeBron, AD, and Doncic tonight. That is a very viable option. That probably is what I'm going to be doing in the majority of my contests. I want as much exposure to these Rockets as possible, because you kind of have to take, you have to take intuition into account. The highest salary on this team is 4.8. If you're telling me a guy can't get to 22.5 points tonight, you're lying to yourself to hit value. I mean, all these guys are in great spots to crush their value. Even Hardenstein at 23 minutes. The only people I would hesitate at are Chris Clemens, even Gary Clark's actually not a bad play, as we were just looking at, and Tyson Chandler. Those are the guys I probably would stay away from if I had to pick 3 players, but literally every single other person is a good play. Who's the best? Who's the best play? I know that question will come up, so I'll just go ahead and say. So let's look at the small sample size. Let's just assume that these guys are playing without just Harden off the court. This is their production right here. Macklemore is going to be a decent option. He actually carries the highest. Hardenstein's been tearing it apart. I would only put him in GPPs though. Austin Rivers is another great play. Austin Rivers just shoots, man. He sucks, but he shoots. He shoots all the time. He takes the ball handlings from from the first unit, and he just shoots. I don't get how he's still in the NBA. I mean, he's honestly terrible. But at 3.8, 33 minutes, Austin Rivers and Macklemore are definitely going to be my guys I'm going to look at just because of the minutes, because of the shots they're going to take. Daniel House, they're all great plays, guys. They are. I'm going to start building my lineups here. I'm going to show at the very end of the stream what my exposure is going to look like. But let's go ahead and look at Denver. I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions here. Millsap out. Millsap and Gary Harris. Oh, Gary Harris got ruled out too. Okay. Yeah. Kyle Anderson's not a bad play tonight, but like I said, if you're not stacking Houston and then coming back with the studs, you're doing it wrong. You just are. So when Harden was playing, Kyle Anderson actually was a great play. He's at 7.2 value. So actually, let's pull this back and look at the entire slate and see who's the best. Macklemore, Hartenstein, Rivers, House, and then it comes down to Kyle Anderson. So you could even argue that he's better than Tucker. I guess you have to see what the molds look like. And then we can kind of go from there. Like I said, I'm going to build it at the end of the stream. So let's go ahead and look at Denver. Denver is in a slight pace-up spot. I know Fox is playing now, so that actually hurts Sacramento even more. If you guys are watching my video, I said that Sacramento, you just had to stay away from them. And then now that Fox is playing, you get to stay away from them even more just because the prices have been adjusted. So Sacramento Kings full fade tonight. Let's go ahead and look at these guys. Let's go ahead and I'm going to refresh this and look at all the injuries. We're going to get a good grasp on Denver here. So Harris and Millsap are out. Thanks for the updates, by the way, whoever that was. Wrong tab. Millsap and Harris. All right. Let's see what this looks like. So decent sample size. I like that. Cool. All right, we're looking at Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is going to be a great play, guys. 9.8% usage increase. Well, it's only 93 minutes. I got excited there. Jokic might end up being a great play. Jokic only 65 minutes. Jeremy Grant, what's he look like? Jeremy Grant. Here's another good one. So Jeremy Grant actually gets the most increase in usage, 2.2% at 0.1 increase in fantasy points production. I know you guys can't see this because I think I'm in the way. Oh no, it's on the left side of the page. In the video, I know I was in the way. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and recalculate Jeremy Grant. He's only playing 21 minutes though. Did they update the minutes? It looks like they did. Jokic, I'm not going to calculate. Let's go ahead and see what Jamal Murray's numbers look like here. Because Jamal Murray, I'm actually intrigued with now. He's going to carry a bulk of that offense. So he's decent value. I'm going to stick with that. Because obviously with these guys out, he's going to be shooting a lot tonight against Sacramento. I feel comfortable inputting that. Barton, 0.93. Nope, that's going to be under that production. Jokic. I'm not going to change Jokic, although I am high on Jokic. I do like Jokic tonight. He has a good matchup. It's a pace-up spot. Hartenstein starting. Minutes haven't updated for Denver yet. Thank you. So, guys, I wanna let you know. I'm usually on here with another analyst, Thomas Jordan. If you guys see him in the chat, he usually is here with me. We couldn't get the audio working for him, but just a heads up that I usually do this with another person. So, say hi to TJ if you guys see him in the chat. Okay, so minutes haven't updated, so that's great. That's very good to know. I thought they looked a little low. Can you guys actually, TJ, can you let me know when they update? Yeah, Hardenstein looks like he's going to be sliding down to the center. Is that right, or is Tucker playing the center? Do we know that yet? So if I update here, this usually updates for where they're going to play. So it looks like they're not starting Chandler. So yeah, Hardenstein's playing at the center. Good to know. So I actually like Hardenstein more. I like all of them. I like everybody besides Chandler, Gary Clark, and Clemens, just strictly because of minutes. They scare me. They terrify me. I'm a huge minutes guy. I'm a huge minutes guy, so I will always take the minutes over the production. If the minutes are there, they'll probably, as long as he gets up their shots, they'll more than likely hit. So especially from somebody like Houston when they're playing in that up pace game. I know the line's moving down, but it's still going to be, if you just look at the prices, guys, it's going to be an up pace for them. Yeah, I agree, TJ, that Hartenstein's probably going to be in our lineup. So let me go ahead and just run these numbers real quick. I know I didn't mess with the projections too much, but that's fine. Do not be scared tonight to stack the entire Houston lineup besides those 3 that I mentioned, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and run these exposures real quick. Make sure the build rules are right. Somebody just got added to the player pool. So it looks like they just updated Denver's minutes. So I'll go ahead and look back at them in just a second. Yeah, please start the Rockets tonight, guys. If you're not starting the Rockets, you are doing it wrong. That is your edge tonight. Don't start with people like Danny Green from the Lakers. Don't start people like any of the shooters from Charlotte, even though they're in a pace-up game. You're completely doing yourself a disfavor if you do not start the Houston Rockets tonight. Yeah, I like Ingram too. Like I said, we're going to see the way the molds work because it's about how much salary do we have left over, and I'm actually kind of scared that we will have a little too much salary. Like if we can get Doncic, LeBron, Davis, and Jokic in the same lineup, can you imagine? Just give me all the money tonight if that's the case. If we can actually do that, I don't think we can. I honestly do like Jokic though. I like Jokic tonight. Like if I probably for cash, what I'll do is I'll try to play Doncic, James, and Jokic because if you have too much exposure to the Lakers, you don't know who's going to snap between AD and LeBron. And if you pick the wrong guy, it could screw you. So, AD and Jokic are great plays. Malik starting and looking at 28-30 minutes. He's looking like a great cheap play. Let's go ahead and look at them. I'm going to wait for these exposures to upload though before I do that. All right. So obviously what we thought. So no, Brandon Ingram, good call because it looks like he's going to be fitting a lot of these molds. So we might be able to fit him in there. Brandon Ingram's a great play. It's about what studs you want to play. So LeBron, Ingram, AD are top the list. It looks like Jokic is still high. It looks like a lot of these lineups will have just stars and studs, obviously. Duh. So let's see what this looks like. Like this lineup is killer, guys. Austin Rivers, McLemore, LeBron James, House, Hartenstein, Murray, Ingram, AD. That's a fantastic lineup. Again, like 4-5 Rockets. Gonna be a great lineup. This one has Doncic. I don't know which stud I'm paying up for tonight. I still have yet to decide. You could throw a dart at the dartboard and pick a stud tonight. I probably will go with the higher owned option, obviously. Let's go ahead and look at that. So Ingram, AD, LeBron, Doncic. Ooh, they're all like the same though. See, that's terrifying. All right, let's go ahead and look at Denver. Real quick. Make sure we're not missing anything. So Beasley 3.1. TJ was just saying that he's playing 30 minutes. That's a great call. Let's look at Beasley real quick. He's not a good point per dollar player. That's the only thing that scares me. Point per dollar player. He's in the pace up spot. Where is he? So yeah, he's going to be a shooter. He doesn't carry high usage. I don't know, TJ. I'm thinking Luka LeBron. Yeah, I can agree with that. I'm thinking that I still prefer these Rockets. Dude, Denver still has studs on their team. They still have Jokic. They still have Murray. Like, they have, like, Beasley could get in there and do absolutely nothing, whereas literally the Rockets have to do something. I don't mind Favors either, but again, GPP, he obviously should do fairly well. All right, guys, go ahead and fire away your questions because I gave you a general direction of what I'm going to do. I'm going to build 20 lineups again tonight just so I don't have every single player in my lineups. I think by just having enough 20, I'll have enough leverage against the field. I know exactly with my full Houston stacks, it should dominate tonight. I'm going to be going heavy tonight, probably for money-wise anyway. Go ahead and fire away any questions you guys have about the slate. Any more injury updates? I'm going to go ahead and check myself because I actually haven't checked in a while. Nothing noteworthy. Again, for the guys joining, I apologize for my voice. I am getting the flu. I'm not kidding. This is a flu game for me. So rather die with me tonight. I'm Michael Jordan. Tonight, we're going to dominate. You agree? Okay, cool. Hornets guards versus Memphis. I just went over this not too long ago. I also went over this in the video. If you want to give the video a quick watch, if you have enough time. No. That's a short answer, no. Like I said, Houston just has far better plays. And GPPs, yeah, the only person I like from Charlotte is Devontae Graham. Like, if you want to play him instead of, I don't know, Brandon Ingram, that could pay off for you if Brandon Ingram for some reason gets in foul trouble or something, but only GPP. He's not going to carry any ownership. 14% in tournaments, which is pretty low for a 4-game slate. I would stay away from Charlotte. I'm going to be stacking Houston, come back with maybe Brandon Ingram, and then stack the studs in the primetime game. It should be competitive. 109, 113. It looks like it's between those two games for the highest over-unders on the slate. Joker Ingram. Ingram just because he's going to be higher owned. The pace is there. The matchup is going to be there with Ingram. He has nobody to contest. Hartenstein for rebounds. Are you kidding? Tucker for rebounds. Seriously? No, he's going to be scoring a lot. So I do like Jokic, though. I do like Jokic. If you want to play him in a couple of GPPs, I would not be against that because Jokic has a great matchup. He's going to be in a high-paced spot. I don't mind Jokic. I like Ingram more. I liked Ingram originally in the video as well. Yeah, for everybody joining again, Thomas Jordan is another one of our analysts. He'll be answering his questions. Don't think he's just popping into the chat and stealing my thunder. He is part of the team. Memphis, I'm just going to start talking about all these teams. So if we look at Dallas, I was watching a video earlier. Somebody I watched for DFS actually, from the Osimo team, was talking about Porzingis as being a good play. Apparently, he has a good track record with AD, but GPP only. I wouldn't play anybody else but Doncic in this game. Honestly, whenever there's injuries like this, I hammer the slates, and TJ knows this because it's just so stinking obvious to people like us. But for casual DFS players, the ownerships aren't there. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I guarantee you these guys will be high owned, but if they're not 100% owned, they're doing the slate wrong. Like, yes, these guys could certainly get in foul trouble. But that's unlucky. I mean, you're taking, if these guys aren't 100% owned, every single one of these Houston players, yeah, that's an advantage for you guys. So just hammer the slate. If you guys are playing all Houston and coming back with these studs, Doncic, Ingram, LeBron, AD, Jokic, then hammer the slate. Houston's going to get it done for you. Austin Rivers is going to hit about 25, 30 points. Daniel House should get 30 to 40 points. Macklemore, same thing. I mean, every single one of these guys are going to have more than enough opportunities to score the basketball, get rebounds, and assists. I know they're all horrible players, but again, like, you have to hit some shots every once in a while, right? If I was a betting man, though, I mean, this spread here, that's scary. I think they're going to beat them by more than 4 points. Best point guard on the slate was a question. Are you talking value or pay up spots? What are you referring to point guard wise? Are you just referring to value overall? Anderson starting. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Anderson real quick. I know you guys want to like spread your wings and like venture off into these other teams. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to regret it. Yeah, see, Anderson's in a good spot, but I mean, like 25 minutes. If he is starting, he should be playing closer to 30, 3.2. But again, like Jaren Jackson's in the lineup, Morant's in the lineup, Valanciunas is in the lineup. They're stealing usage from him. I like Kyle Anderson. I'm a Spurs fan. I really do like him. He's a productive player when he's in there. But I'm telling you guys, This is obvious. Obvious night. Stack Houston. What's a solid lineup for cash? I can show you on stream. This might not be the lineup I'm going with tonight, but I will build it in about 15 minutes or so when I get off stream. Let me expand this. Why did I not have that expanded? There it is. Lineups. So like a great lineup tonight. That's a great lineup. Jamal Murray is like the only like question mark, but like we were just looking at his numbers. His numbers go up without Harris and Millsap on the court. So this is another great lineup. This lineup is actually fantastic. I like this lineup a lot. I'm giving away freebies, guys. So take advantage of this. A couple of these lineups will be GPPs for sure. Austin Rivers scares you. Yes, he is a horrible basketball player. He is a terrible basketball player, but when he's shooting 15 shots tonight and he's hitting 5 of them, he's going to hit value. Couple assists in there. Oh man, he's on fire. How many Rockets do you suggest to fill our lineup? 4 to 5. 4 to 5. Like I said, the more Rockets, the better. The more elite options, the better. So, like, what I mean by elite is LeBron, Doncic, Ingram. You can't go wrong with those guys. They're going to be fine. Are these the same lineup? Just in different order? I literally think they are. No, they're not. Whatever. I'm sick. Yeah. I know for a fact that Austin Rivers, when he was like when Westbrook was off the court, it was Westbrook, it was Gordon, Austin Rivers I started. He was projected like 30 or so minutes and he snapped in that game. He was around 3.8K. High over under. The guy just shoots. The guy shoots a lot. His field goal percentage sucks, but I mean, when you're shooting that much volume in DFS, it doesn't matter. If you got penalized for like bad field goal percentage, sure, but it doesn't matter in DFS, guys. It doesn't matter if you're padding the stat sheet. It does not matter. And these guys have to step it up tonight. I'm gonna refresh to see if the minutes updated for anybody. Eric Gordon or Hardenstein. I'm gonna go with Hardenstein tonight, just because he's been playing pretty well, and he's playing the center position tonight. Starting center at that, so I'm not scared away with Favors. Favors is a good GPP play, as Sano mentioned earlier. Give you GPP line. All right, here's what I'll do for you. If you guys are watching, I will find a good line with low-owned guys. Why does this have James Harden? That's not right. So with all that being said, Kyle Anderson's not a bad play, guys. He's not a bad play, just better plays on the slate. I'm going to look for the first low-owned guy I see. Jaren Jackson used to be a good play. He's still a good play. He's just not going to be high-owned. So that's a good GPP line if you wanna look at that real quick. I agree. House over Tucker. House, even though his point per dollar value wasn't showing that well on the research we were doing earlier on the stream, it doesn't scare me away. He's gonna be heavily involved in the offense. He usually is when Westbrook is not on the court. So he's like Westbrook's younger brother on that team, because Harden dishes it out to him a lot in the corner. House gets plenty of opportunities to shoot the ball when it's Harden and him. So I liked House earlier when Harden was playing, but even more so now, just because he's gonna obviously have to shoot the ball. All right, so let's scroll down here. If you guys want some more, Dylan Brooks was actually a good play. So that could be a low-owned gem here, just because without Crowder, I was crunching numbers. Dylan Brooks is actually a good play. That's another good lineup. I am personally going to be playing 5 Rockets coming back with the studs and everything. And pretty much everything. GPPs and cash. Again, the advantage is that not 100% of people are going to start 5 Rockets. That's where your advantage is. That's where your advantage is tonight. Barnes or House? House, 100%. Don't look at the Kings. Do not look at the Kings tonight. Now with Fox back, it makes it even more. I mean, it makes it even worse. They have Fox in the lineup now. Like, Fox is a decent play, but again, like, Denver's a pace down. They're projected 99 points now. Now, I like Jamal Murray on the other side of the ball more. So, like, in that same price range. I know it's $800. No, it's $500 off. I like Jamal Murray. I like Denver in general. Again, they're just not as good as the Rockets tonight. Yeah, I went over the Rockets, Chris Stewart. I went over the Rockets earlier in the stream. I'll go ahead and break it down even further. So I'll go over my favorites. CJ, if you want to chime in, who's your favorite Rockets? Who's your favorite Rockets? It looks like they actually updated Hartenstein's minutes to 25, which is more accurate because he was at 23, but since he's starting, he should get more minutes. It looks like Austin Rivers is still at 33. If I had to play my favorite ones, just point per dollar wise, it's going to be House. It's going to be Macklemore. It's going to be Austin Rivers and Tucker are my favorites. Eric Gordon is not a must. Eric Gordon is not a must. He's more of a GPP play because 25 minutes does scare me. Eric Gordon has not been doing that well this season. And if he is limited to 25 minutes, I mean, that's not any better than somebody like Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson would be a better play in that situation. Hartenstein at 3K, 25 minutes is one of my favorite plays on the slate. I think you can agree with that. Macklemore, House, Rivers, Hartenstein, Gordon. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same. Start the four that you need. House, Tucker, Macklemore, Rivers. Never mind. House, Macklemore, Rivers, Hartenstein. Those are my locks. The only guy I might exclude is Tucker just because he sucks. I know these guys will be putting up shots. House is going to be shooting. Macklemore is going to be shooting. Rivers is going to be shooting. I don't know that for a fact from Tucker. LBJ over AD. I agree. AD or LeBron. I mean, either one's fine, guys. But I'm avoiding AD to the locker room. That's what I'm avoiding. That always scares me. Yo, do you know what I was thinking about the other day? And this might make you guys laugh. I was thinking about a design. Do you know the people from the Fairly Odd Parents that you guys have all seen if you're on Twitter, where they're shoveling the money into the furnace? I was thinking about making a shirt design where you have those two guys on there and it just says AD to the locker room. It'd be the funniest DFS shirt. I'd wear that every day on stream. I was thinking about shirt designs for DFS because there's not enough out there. Too many inside jokes for us. AD or Jokic, honestly, they're so similar and point per dollar. So where are they? AD, they're literally the same. I'd have to say it's tough. I'd have to say Jokic just because of Harris and Millsap being out. I'm biting my tongue when I'm saying that though because AD's gonna have plenty of opportunities tonight, and they're in a slightly higher over under. I don't know. If I had to choose straight up, I'd probably go with Jokic. The studs. I think Doncic is the most obvious. Ingram, LeBron. Yeah, LeBron, Jokic, AD. That would be my personal preference. However, they're all great. They're literally all great plays. You cannot go wrong with any one of those 5 studs. I mean, you can only get unlucky at that point. You're playing studs at that point. You're just filling up the lineup with people who aren't playing on the Rockets. For everybody joining, I know we're at the most we've had tonight at 44. For the guys who haven't been in here, the strategy tonight is start the Rockets. Do not look back. Start all the guys that are playing over 30 minutes. Play Hartenstein. Hartenstein looks like he's the best point per dollar on the slate. Come back with all the studs on the slate. Come back with Ingram. Come back with Doncic. Come back with LeBron if you can. If you can fit all those guys in the lineup, which you can because we just went over that. I'm actually going to rebuild because they updated the value of Hartenstein. I'm going to rebuild and see what my exposures look like. I am a GPP player, so I like to put in multiple lineups. And thanks for answering all the questions, TJ. I know I haven't been on top of that. TJ's dropping some stats in the chat if you guys want to look at the chat. This is why we have both of us usually on the live stream, so we can bounce ideas off each other so we can talk it through. Macklemore is at the top of the list. That's what I said. He's one of my favorite plays from Houston. Daniel House, Rivers, Hartenstein. That's literally what my 4 was before I even I crunched these numbers. So these are my exposures right now. Hartenstein, I might even try to increase his exposure even more. If he's only 12%, guys, and he's actually a GPP play at 12%, oh my gosh, that could be your huge edge. I would have like close to 100% if he's actually 12%. If he's actually 12%, I'm gonna go ahead and update the percentage ownership. So what is your lineup looking like? I'll tell you where you went wrong. Because if like you're not playing something like this or something like this, I think this is my favorite lineup. I think this right here is my favorite lineup. That actually might end up being our cash lineup. TJ, I might overrule you right now. That might be our cash lineup. I don't see how that doesn't cash. Only way that doesn't cash is if these guys get in huge foul trouble early. Not going to happen. It's going to be a pace-up spot. They're going to be running up and down the court. They're not going to... No. I'm telling you right now. Houston is a play. Followed by... I'm telling you, that lineup might be optimal. That lineup right there might be optimal. You might see a lot of Chipotle Attic playing those players. You might see Osmo playing a lot of those players out of that lineup. He's 30% on Osmo. Are you talking about Hartenstein? Yeah, so I know the Roto Grinders percentage ownership isn't always accurate. But it does paint a pretty good picture. So if it's off a little bit, yeah, no big deal. For the guys joining, I know there's even more joining, guys. We are starting all the Rockets. We are literally starting 5 of the Rockets, and we're coming back with the studs. If you're doing it differently, you are doing it wrong. You will not cash tonight if you do not start at least 4 Rockets in your lineup. 5 is what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be starting House, Tucker, Macklemore, Rivers, and Hartenstein. The more I look at the slate, the more I love Houston. If you're starting people like Kyle Anderson, you have to get lucky at that point because there's just... Houston's way better. They don't have anybody handling the ball. Goodness. I mean, Rivers might shoot 20 shots tonight. All right, so no, your lineup is Rivers, Macklemore, House, Hartenstein, Davis, Doncic, Ingram, utility left. All right, you're going to hate when I say this. Well... Are you playing FanDuel? Are you playing FanDuel? Are those prices right? All right, if you guys need a good lineup, I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna go back to this lineup because I love it. That's not it because that's what I built before. I'm telling you right now, that's the lineup. This is a good lineup. This is a great lineup. Austin Rivers, Macklemore, PJ Tucker, House, Hartenstein has my favorite. Rockets come back with LeBron, Ingram, Doncic. I don't see how you go wrong with that. How do you not love that lineup, guys? Who are you questioning in that lineup? Why are you all not taking that lineup and playing it in cash and GPPs? Also, I want to talk about contest selection real quick, because that is a huge issue in today's DFS world. Not enough casuals, man. They're not educated on contest selection because I see people today, they're playing one contest. I literally got a DM, one contest in the NFL slate, and guess what they played? The one contest they played was in the Millie Maker. Are you serious? The chances of you winning that Millie Maker are less than the lottery ticket. Literally. That's how bad it is. It's literally that hard to win a big contest. I will literally play a majority of my contests will be in 3-man contests, because you can treat it like a head-to-head at that point. And if you're playing these low entry fee 3-man contests, you're going to get noobs in there. You're going to get casuals. And if you're playing non-experienced players, you're basically treating it like it's a double up, because double up, you have to cash in 43 point however much percent to double up. But in a 3-man contest, you have to cash in 33.3% of your lines, because there's 3 people, right? Do the math. It's not hard. And then you make almost 3 times your money. But double ups, you make half, right? So I hope that makes sense. So I'll play smaller GPPs are the best. Single entry GPPs are the best. I'm not saying I only play 3-man, but I will play like 10-man GPPs. I'll play 20-man. Those are the best GPPs to play. Over the long run, if you stay consistent in your picks, if you join the live stream like this and we go over the slate and you start all the rockets, you come back with the 3 studs, you will cash consistently. You will consistently make that money. I'm also not saying that double ups aren't a viable option anymore, but I usually start looking at 3-man contests before I do double ups. So yeah. Any last questions before I get off? Because I'm gonna go import all these lineups into DraftKings. Any more questions? Name that lineup again. Are you talking about this one? If the Rock, all right. So Dawson. Yes, they might get blown out. Okay, the Rockets might get blown out, but you gotta think beyond the blowout. If first of all, if they don't get blown out, you're shorting yourself, and second of all, if they do, people like Hardenstein are still gonna get a run. People like Gary Clark are gonna get an extended run. And Clemens, those are only 3 people. And then they're going to come back and they're going to have to start people. Look at the rotation. They're going to start people like Rivers and House in the 4th quarter. So you are literally shorting yourself if you base your picks off of blowouts. Because all those players are still going to play. It's an 8-man rotation. 1, 2, 3. Or it's a 9-man rotation. And some of those guys aren't even playing. Like Tyson Chandler's barely going to play. Do not look at blowout potential when you're picking DFS picks unless it's completely obvious. The Pelicans stink. So do the Rockets, obviously, now. But I don't think they're going to blow them out. I don't think they're going to win by more than 10. Seriously. TJ is posting our cash lineup on our website. If you look below, you can find the website URL. Go ahead and follow that. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Guys, if you are not subscribing to this channel, at least do it for live streams like this, okay? Even if you don't watch the videos. I do the videos very early in the morning. That way we have a good grasp on the slate. We know what direction to take when the injuries do come out. I try to go over everything in the video. But again, like tonight, you just can't miss out on these live streams. So if you haven't, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the videos. Please show the support. We've been getting an overwhelming amount of support these past couple of days. Honestly, thank you so much. It's very humbling. I've been doing this for 4+ years now, DFS, and this is the first time I'm really have been consistent with this. It's just, it comes with experience. It comes with looking over the stats 24/7. Even learning from mentors, from YouTube videos myself. It's very fun for me. So I enjoy winning money for you guys. I enjoy winning money for myself, obviously. But I really enjoy providing videos and content to the public the most. So very humbling, guys. Very humbling. And I hope you guys stay with us in the long run. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Any last questions? Thank you. I appreciate that, Madden. You won't regret it. Absolutely, Bob. Good luck tonight, guys. Hopefully everybody follows that strategy. Houston with studs. Nobody else. Don't even look. Unless it's GPP, don't even look anywhere else. Okay? Unless you're entering 150 lineups, I should see no exposure anywhere else. Okay? No exposure. You're doing it wrong. Last one, Macklemore or Gordon? Macklemore. No questions asked. Eric Gordon is limited to 25 minutes. That is a fact. So 25 minutes is scary at 3.5, especially with Gordon struggling this season. He's not a bad play, but he's more of a GPP play. All right. Any last questions? I'll give it 2 more minutes. Hope you guys have enjoyed the live stream. I am sick, so I apologize for my voice. I literally 2 bottles of water while I've been streaming. One of them. Nice little fuel. BCAAs for working out. It gets the blood pumping. I'm still thirsty. Michael Porter Jr., are you asking? I'll go ahead and look at him one more time. 24 minutes. Let me just make sure those minutes are updated. We do post an optimal cash lineup to our website, okay? So just FYI. The only thing that scares me about Porter is 24 minutes. He's coming off. You guys said he was starting, right? But like I said, I'm all in on Houston tonight. Your build should be those 4 players. At least House, Tucker, McLemore, Rivers. At least. Sorry, not Tucker, Hartenstein. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get off, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and let's have a good night, guys, and let's cash. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season with you guys.